Congratulations on the purchase of your brand new dog training collar. Yours may look like this, or it may have come in a box like this. Either way, the first thing that you're going to do when you get your collar is you're going to open it up and make sure that you have all the pieces and parts that it's supposed to have. Owner's manual, transmitter, receiver collar, battery cover, shock tester light, collar, 2 long prongs for long-haired dogs, 2 short prongs for short-haired dogs, and 2 AAA batteries for the receiver. Now, what you want to do first is you want to make sure that your transmitter is going to be working. So, open up the back. The battery comes with it. It should be installed properly. Close the back. The top button is the on button. Press the sound button and it should make a beep, a chirp. The bottom slide switch is the volume. All the way up is loud. All the way down is softer. I like loud, we'll keep it there. The next thing that you do is you take off the battery cover backing rubber for the receiver portion. Shake it and you're going to hear a sound. It's not broken, there's something in there. It's a motion detector switch that when your dog goes to sleep or you lay the collar down, the receiver will go to sleep and save on batteries. When you pick it up and shake it, or the dog gets up from a nap, the little light will come on again, as I'll demonstrate. If you ever lose communication between the transmitter and the receiver, you want to leave the batteries out for 60 seconds. Once the batteries have been out, then you'll put them back in and match up the receiver. The flat part of the battery goes towards the spring. Flat part of the other battery goes towards the spring. And then hold them in so they don't come out. Notice the red light, and then immediately push the vibrate button. It'll vibrate, and it should be matched up so every time you push the vibrate button, the receiver should vibrate. Okay, so we know that it's matched up. The next thing that you do, and this is the important part, is you make sure that you put the battery cover on very securely. You got to push it down all the way around the edges, making sure that it's pushed down all the way to the lip, all the way around. That is what's going to keep your batteries from popping out when it's vibrating or when your dog is active. If the batteries vibrate out, then you're going to lose communication. The light may still be on, but when you push the button, you're going to get no response. If that happens, you take the batteries out again, leave them out for 60 seconds, reinstall them, and then immediately push the vibrate button. Immediately pushing the vibrate button is what's going to match up the receiver and the transmitter. If you wait too long, the receiver is going to get tired of waiting around and it's going to go back to sleep and you're going to have to do it again. So you push down the edges all the way around, push down the middle, don't leave those batteries any room to come out, and then you choose the short prongs or the long prongs. You can use the long prongs on a short-haired dog if you want to, but you cannot use the short prongs on a long-haired dog. Let's put the long prongs on. They screw over the threaded studs. They don't have to be much tighter than finger tight, but you should check them every now and then anyway. Now, if it's still matched up, when you push the vibrate button, it should vibrate. The light is still on. Okay, now we'll test the shock with the test light to make sure the shock is working, rather than getting shocked yourself. So just hold the test light over the prongs, push the shock button, which has a picture of the lightning bolt, and the test light should blink. Another feature of this collar is if you push the vibration button down and hold it, it'll vibrate for several seconds and then it'll go into shock mode if your dog is extra naughty. I'll demonstrate. Vibrate and shock. You can either vibrate or shock or vibrate and shock. You can also train your dog just by using the chirp command. And if your dog doesn't behave, follow directions, then you can administer shock or vibrate or shock. You also have a flashlight for finding your keys or your dog leash clip. Now, to put the collar, to attach the collar to the receiver, you simply push it through one side and then push it through the other. And it can be adjusted with this buckle. Put it around the dog's neck, clip it. Once it is adjusted and around your dog's neck, you should be able to fit one finger between the dog's neck and the collar, not two. Two would be too loose for a training collar if you're going to be using the shock. If you're only going to be using vibrate, it doesn't have to be that tight, but you have to get a good connection between the prongs and your dog's skin in order for your dog to feel the shock. Once it's on your dog, make sure that you can see the light, so that should be going toward the chin of the dog, not toward the chest, so you can see the light. And if your dog lays down and goes to sleep, for a while that light will go off, but as soon as your dog wakes up, the light will come on. Never use this collar with a leash. If you're going to be putting your dog on a lead, use another collar in addition instead. Thank you very much. Goodbye.